Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Mizamani G. It's time to review another horror movie. It's time to review the latest horror movie called Unhuman. Ooh. Now, Unhuman is a 2022 American horror film. It's directed by Marcus Dunstan, written by Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton. Now, the film stars Brianna Chu, Benjamin Wadsworth, Euron Shelton, Ali Gallo, David Schweed, Lo Graham, and C.J. Blank. Now, the premise of this one is a group of high school students whose school bus crashes on a field trip will have their relationships tested once they realize they're being stalked by an attacker who intends to drive them straight into a horrifying fight to survive. Ooh. Despite filmmakers coming up with original characters for horror films, we seem to still be getting the same type of trope characters that appeared in the horror movies back in the 80s. We have the nice lead or final girl, the popular but mean girl, the jock guy who bullies the nerd guy, and of course the token black guy or girl. While most modern horror films are using a more diverse cast, we still seem to use the same type of trope characters that we saw back during the 80s. Again, we can't seem to get out of that. That's the case with film director Marcus Dunstan's latest entry called Unhuman. Now, the setup for this one is rather simple, as we see several high school kids going on a field trip for extra credit because obviously they're not smart enough and they got to get those grades so they can graduate, right? That's right. Now we have Ever and her best friend Tamara, along with Jock Danny, popular girl JC, token black guy Hunt, and the nerd guy Randall. Now, after the bus crashes in the middle of nowhere, the kids are suddenly attacked and have to band together as they are attacked by a zombie-like creatures. So, can the kids put aside their differences and band together so they can survive this nightmare? Well, that's what basically this film is about. Now, Marcus and his team don't waste time as the kids are put in this situation probably within 15 to 20 minutes of the film. We get this small introduction of Ever, her best friend, Amber, and then we see all the other kids get on the bus, and probably within the next 10 minutes, bang, they're in this terrible situation. Now, while trying to figure out what's happening, I believe we're supposed to get some character development, but the characters stay within their defined roles. There's really nothing different about them. We know who they are, and the actions they take won't surprise anyone because it makes the film rather bland and flat. There's nothing different here that we haven't seen before in any other films. Even with this unusual setup that we have here, and it's typical, you would think this would be a slasher film, but this is actually supposed to be a zombie film or a virus film. It's something that we've seen before in other slasher movies, so it's nothing new that Patrick and his writing partner Marcus and his writing partner Patrick Melton have created here. It's nothing new here. It's simply the same old beat, same old characters. We haven't seen nothing new here. Now, the film does have a nice flow and everything's going by the numbers until a twist comes into play right around the middle to the end of the second act of the film. Now, I will give credit for Marcus and Patrick for putting a twist in the film that I didn't see coming, but it really doesn't have the effect I believe the filmmakers were going for. I believe that they were going to say, all right, we're going to go this route, and then bang, we're going to do a twist that no one ever see coming. I will give them credit because I didn't see the twist coming, but unfortunately it doesn't have the effect that I believe that Marcus and Patrick were looking for. One problem is the motivation for the twist, which I believe is a bit childish, and I'm pretty sure if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. And while seeing the events of the twist play out, it doesn't seem that it wasn't thought out very well at all. There's a lot of things that happen within the twists. It's like, what if this happened, or what if that happened, or what did this happen? It wasn't thought out very well. But the main problem for me is the reason why the twist has no effect because the story is so bland. First of all, there's no tension or suspense. There's no type of atmosphere that was created in order for the twist to have the desired effect that I believe Marcus and Patrick thought it should have. If you're going to put a twist, you want to make it so that you have suspense, you have tension, you have atmosphere. You want to make it so that there's a possibility that some of these kids will not survive. And you have to put them in very dangerous situations so that way when the twist happens, bang! You take a look at April Fool's Day. When that twist happened, it shocked everyone because you had tension, you had suspense. And this one, nothing. It's just bland. You have bland characters. You have a bland story with no suspension or tension, no atmosphere. So when it happens, it's like, okay, that's nice, but where's this going? Now, Brianna, too, who was last seen in the I Know What You Did Last Summer TV remake, she's okay as ever. I mean, she plays a role that was supposed to be played, even though the script doesn't allow any type of character growth. She does what she can with the character, but, she's supposed to be the nice girl, wants everyone to get along. She takes charge when everyone else is fussing and arguing with each other. And I guess it's what you expect out of this character because I'm assuming this is what Marcus and Patrick were going for. I mean, the same goes with the other characters as well as the actor plays the role they're supposed to play them, nothing more and nothing less. You're not going to get any type of great performances in there at all. Now, you should expect something better from the director that gave us the collector and the collection and is working on the collected, but this is just a bland horror film with your typical trope characters and a twist that has no effect whatsoever. So I'm going to give Unhuman 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Going to give it 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Like I said before, it's not bad, but it's not fair. It's not great. Like I said, you have bland characters. There's supposed to be something that happens at the third act, and I guess sort of kind of give the reason what they were going for, but unfortunately, because how uninteresting and how bland the story is, really doesn't have the effect at the end of the movie that I believe that Marcus and Patrick were going for. So just 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. So there you have it. That is my video and review for Unhuman. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it does help out with that YouTube algorithm. Also, if you have seen Unhuman, please let me know in the comment section what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser, Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.